Adam says, why go free to play when they know people will pay for it every year? I mean, as a business model, I kind of hate, the capitalist in me loves it, but I kind of also hate that they're just relying on this idea of like, well, we know everyone's going to buy it anyways. We'll just keep shoveling it in, right? Like we'll just, I don't know. Does anyone sort of see this?
The argument is you get a larger audience when you're free to play. They know a certain group of people will pay for it every year, but you can get conceivably 2, 3, 4x as many users by lowering that paywall.
So I think you're absolutely right, Jimmy. I think that's the genius of what Activision over the last 5 years has done. And I know we rip on Activision a lot, rightfully so, but with their Call of Duty strategy has been pretty like forward thinking. I mean, they were very early on in this, right? They made free to play with Warzone. So you have that on ramp into the main game, which actually ended up helping them sell more copies of the main game. And then they also put out mobile, and they've had arguably one of the better mobile shooters now the last couple of years. So like they have that 3-pronged approach, which does get, like you said, Jimmy, the people who aren't willing to pay for the main game.
Guys, I will say chat's on fire today. I love that you guys are all active here. Sorry, I'm going to get caught up here. Issei says, same here. I've learned to wait and keep my dollars in my wallet until I've seen the end game of the game, or at the end of the game. I don't blame you, Issei. The problem is the competitive nature of COD. I think that's what compels people. Adam says, Jimmy, they can't afford gas, so Activision knows they'll be home to play. that's actually, I wonder if we do see a gas price / inflation driven boom in gaming, same way we saw one with COVID, where maybe more people choose entertainment at home. I don't know. I think that's an interesting theory, Adam. Very interesting theory. Says LOL. Adam, I wonder if COD is so big as far as their player base that going free to play would not be beneficial for them to gain more people. They just know their player base is loyal for now and will buy this due to the hype regardless of the price. I think that's where we've all sort of agreed, right? That people will just buy it regardless. It will probably be 70, then it will be 60 a week later, Issei says. I don't know. It's usually a few months, my experience. Adam, 100% going to Game Pass. So let me stop here. How many of you think COD ends up on Game Pass, guys?
Eventually, yes.
What's eventually?
I don't know. The interesting thing to me is it's a little bit like what Adam just said. To some extent, the larger the Game Pass subscriber base is, actually the less likely, the less it makes sense to put it onto Game Pass. For me, putting it onto Game Pass would be great as almost like a loss leader, where it's a game that a ton of people, 20, 30 million people buy every year. So you can convert a lot of those people to Game Pass by effectively allowing people to get it cheaper within Game Pass. But let's say you have 50 million subscribers to Game Pass, and the Venn diagram between people who are subscribed to Game Pass and people who would buy Call of Duty is basically a circle. Why would you give away a product for free that you know that they're going to buy if you don't give it?
You would if you believe the long-term value of that customer as a subscriber is greater than the one-off purchase, or that you could raise the price of the pass
and
keep them as a long-term subscriber.
If Call of Duty goes on Game Pass, the price of Game Pass goes up. Or like
you think then for sure? Yeah.
If I may interject, as big as Modern Warfare 2 is, let's all ask ourselves the question, what's the biggest Call of Duty game to date, especially with the esports, mentality behind it? It's Black Ops. So why am I going to go free to play before I can do my remastered Black Ops? That's just silly. So, just drive this new pricing, get people used to it, and then get them all jammed up for the new Black Ops and charge 80 for that. It's just, that's the biggest Call of Duty title, period. End of story. So, yeah, I wouldn't go free to play.
Chris, but do you think it will end up on Game Pass?
10 years from now, when we're tired of seeing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remastered.
Okay.
What do you think, Paul? What's your prediction?
I think Microsoft does end up going the way of Netflix, in the sense that, Netflix, they've increased the cost of their content production by billions, but the Netflix subscription has only crept up in small increments. And I think that's sort of where Microsoft goes with Game Pass. As the subscriber base gets larger, it makes more sense to have people on this recurring revenue stream. You put COD in there, you justify a $2 increase every year, the same way sort of Netflix is doing it, and eventually end up with 150 million people on Game Pass at, pick a number, $24 a year as opposed to the 10 or whatever it is now. I think that's where it's probably where I would eventually move the business. I think Wall Street especially loves recurring revenue streams more than just about anything, right? Like the whole box copy model, I think but creates more uncertainty for analysts, for investors, for shareholders, right? I don't know. I think that's where they end up going. When? That's a good question. Not in the very near term future, not in the next 2 or 3 years, I don't think. I think Microsoft goes slow on this.
The alternative, they could also put older Call of Duty games into the Game Pass. Like they do have other options too, not just like day and day. They could also put it in, 2 months later. So you get the diehards who like absolutely need to play it day one, but then you get like, there's a lot of in the middle strategies that they can do that aren't black or white.
Adam says, I've pre-ordered every COD except Vanguard. It's no fun being a Christmas noob. Yeah, there you go. That's so true. Samuel says, welcome, Samuel. Aren't they skipping the 2023 release of COD?
That's correct.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, that's correct. They are doing every other year. So, yeah, again, jam up that profit margin. Good point.
That is a good point. And then maybe we do see an $80, right? Like if they realize that they're not going to get that revenue stream every single year. Adam says, but they're getting the user base with Warzone for free. True, mobile shooter still makes me laugh. Issei says Black Ops ? I'm not sure the question Issei, but
I think that was to Chris's question earlier.
Black Ops, as in the flavor of Call of Duty, if that's the question. Adam says maybe they added as a Game Pass premium, hike up the price to $20 to include certain titles, including COD, keeping it $10 for base Game Pass. I mean, that's a possibility, guys, right? To have different versions of Game Pass. I personally kind of hate that because I think Game Pass has to be dead simple. But I don't know. Do you guys like that? Do you like sort of a Game Pass premium that has COD and like the new games and the sort of the Game Pass base that just has the rest of the catalog? Chris, you like that?
I totally just did it yesterday with this new PlayStation subscription model. I was so anti, I'm not doing this. And I was like, oh, they have Tekken 2 on here. Here's my money. So, it's going to happen. Now I'm spending $120 a year for PlayStation. I don't need to. But yeah, I can see how it works.
Well, I'm curious if you did the math in your head and said, okay, it's $120 a year. As long as I play 2 games on here, like 2 new games, it's worth it? Or does that...
I have a broken
I'm curious
brain.
the psychology.
He just said Tekken 2. All right, we're good.
That's it. No, really. It was an impulse buy. It's like being at the supermarket. Oh, I want this now as I'm waiting for my food to get checked out. No, it was just there in front of me. And I think that works.
Now it's only one game and 80% of the second one now. It's $70 a game. So
that's true, right? The Game Pass subscription starts to look even better. Peach VR says, hello, Peach VR, welcome. So great to see you. Issei says, imagine World at War in the Game Pass deal. I mean, the Game Pass is, I think, Microsoft's most interesting product going into the next 5 years. Like, I really think their gaming ambitions are going to live or die on Game Pass. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that.